Brian Huckstep, CIO at Advyzon Investment Management. What have been the major themes in the investment landscape as relevant for the wealth management space over the past year, and what are those themes looking into 2026?
Yeah, on our investment management team here at Advyzon, we're excited for hopefully more of the same. 2025 was a terrific year for stocks, terrific year for bonds, and even better year for non-US equities. They really led the way. And we're expecting more of the same next year. The same factors that led US stocks to beat their long-term averages, we expect to reoccur in 2026, and we welcome that. So the average for the S&P 500 over the last 99 years has been an 11% return. And we've beaten that the last 3 years in the market. So getting a fourth year in a row is challenging. And, it's got some people's eyebrows raised on whether or not that can happen, especially given valuations. Valuations are somewhat elevated, but those same factors, terrific growth, development, AI, and more importantly, we think declining interest rates. That is going to be a factor in buoying stock prices. So our expectation is the Fed will have additional cuts next year. The major driver of that will be Jerome Powell is done at the Fed in May, and Donald Trump gets to appoint the next Fed chair. And he has openly many times said that he favors seeing interest rates decline. And so we expect him to appoint someone who's going to be very dovish. And that means we expect him to lower interest rates, and that typically leads to higher stock prices. So that's where we're at for stocks. That is also a good thing for bonds. So we saw the last time interest rates went up in 2022, both stocks and bonds had a tough year. But it's the opposite. When interest rates drop, stocks tend to do well, and bonds tend to also do well. Now, for international stocks are beating US stocks by 10% this year. And the majority, in fact, all of that outperformance has been in currency moves. So non-US stocks have performed the exact same as US stocks year to date. But when you take currency impact into account, we're seeing an extra 10% outperformance by non-US stocks. Now, the main driver for that is the dollar is less attractive when our interest rates go down. So if we do see interest rates continue to decline, we expect to see the dollar get weaker, and that's good for unhedged non-US investments. So your typical non-US ETF. So we expect those to outperform again.
Thank you. And now, what has Advyzon Investment Management been up to in 2025, and what will the firm be working on into 2026?
Yeah, 2025 was a great year for us. My favorite new capability we rolled out is our Sphere model library. So users of Advyzon have the option to go in and search among and select to use some terrific asset managers, some real household names. And these products in our Sphere lineup have zero strategist fee for the advisors and for the clients. So when you use those strategies, then the trading is also covered. So it's a great way for advisors to use some of these products and help cut some of the costs. So we've really streamlined trading for a lot of these products. That's how we're able to bring the Sphere lineup to investors and to advisors that has those features. So for very cost-conscious clients or advisors, it's a terrific lineup. But like I say, we're using very good asset managers, household names there. We've just streamlined enough that we're able to bring those to market. Next year, we're very excited about expanding our alts capabilities. So today in Advyzon, we do a great job of allowing advisors to use alts, to purchase alts. But we don't quite have the paperwork yet and the help for the advisors that some of them are asking for. Advisors would like it to be much more straight through processing, kind of a point and click selection for alternatives. So we're doing two things. We're building out an alternative library to help advisors find these alternatives, and we're streamlining the paperwork in our tool and trading so that it's going to be much, much easier for advisors to do. Many of them are already doing it in Advyzon, but they do it somewhat manually today, manual paper. They have to find their own models. So we're just making it easier for advisors to help their clients, achieve their goals with alternatives. So with the market being a little bit expensive right now, terrific time to look at some of those alternatives. So I think it's a well-timed rollout on our part.
Brian, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.